So Deco, first question, with the transfer window having just closed, what's your take on the top transfers in the market this summer?
I don't know, I think a lot of clubs, both players. Of course, Madrid brings some two big players, but sell another ones. And Barcelona too, and Manchester United. I think Manchester United, because they need bring some important players. They did. And of course for them will be good. Of course Barcelona too, but maybe Man United because they needed and they did very well.
And so how do you think Radamel Falcao will do at Man United?
I think it's good. Man United needed one striker. They had Rooney, but Rooney can play the side of the pitch. I think if Rooney and Falcao can play together, it would be a fantastic attack.
Okay, and you've had a very illustrious career. You played for some of the biggest clubs in Europe, including Porto, Barcelona, Chelsea. Let's talk a bit about the Spanish giants, Barcelona. They've made the headlines this summer during the transfer market because they've signed Luis Suarez. How do you think Luis Suarez will fit into Barcelona's style of play?
I think it's good for Barcelona. Barcelona needs a striker. Since Samuel Eto'o left the club, they didn't have one fantastic striker. And of course, they need to change the way to play, but I think if they are able to do that, they can do great things this season.
But what about Luis Suarez's history? You know, he has a history of getting involved in controversial incidents, biting, getting sent off. What do you think of that? Do you think that's good for the club's image?
I don't know. Of course, he needs to adapt the image of the club, but of course, Barcelona needs players with character like Luis Suarez. I like it.
Okay, and of course now with Suarez in the club, there's Suarez, Neymar, Lionel Messi, three of the best strikers in the world. How do you think they'll fit in the system, and who should the club form their team around?
That's what I said, and I think the important thing is to know if they are able to play together. If they can do it, Barcelona will be strong.
Okay, and what about the other aspects of Barcelona's team? Because apart from strikers, they seem to be a little weak in midfield, for example, because Xavi is already in the twilight of his career. Andre Iniesta is no longer as fit as he is. And yet they sold Cesc Fabregas to Chelsea. They've brought in Rakitic, but what do you think of the rest of the team in terms of defense and midfield? Do you think they're strong enough?
Of course, the problem is Barcelona bring two defenders, and we need to see how fit will be Xavi and Andrés Iniesta. If they are fine, Barcelona is still strong. If not, it will be difficult for them.
And now let's talk about Chelsea a little. Recently, I'm not sure if you are aware, but Cristiano Ronaldo criticized Jose Mourinho for his management style at Real Madrid, where he said there was a bad atmosphere at the club when Mourinho was around. Having worked under Mourinho at Porto itself and having known the manager, are you surprised at Ronaldo's comments?
I don't know, because it's difficult when you are out to make a comment, talk about something that you don't know. I know Cristiano, I know Mourinho. Mourinho still be a friend. I don't know what's happened inside of the club, but of course it's strange when you see one player and one coach, they are criticizing each other. But of course, I don't know what's happened.
And how is Mourinho like as a manager? I mean, from your personal experience, what do you think of him as a manager?
For me, it was a fantastic experience with him. We won a lot of things and still be a friend, but I don't know, like I said, I don't know what happened in Madrid. Can talk about something that I don't know.
Okay, and sticking with Chelsea, they've made quite a good start in the English Premier League, 3 wins out of 3. One of the stars of the team is striker Diego Costa, of course. Are you surprised at how easily he has adapted to the English game?
No, because he's strong, he's fast, he fights all the game, and of course for him it will be easy to adapt in the Premier League. And he's not a technical striker, he's one fight, and I think it's good for Chelsea, good for him.
And speaking of adaptation, let's talk about Manchester United, because they have Louis van Gaal. They're trying to fit into a 3-5-2 formation, but they've obviously not managed to do it. They're winless in 4 games. What do you think is the problem with the team right now?
Of course, everything is starting. We don't know what's happening in the future. But of course, Van Gaal is a fantastic coach. He brings a lot of new players for the club. He needs a little time. We see how much time he needs. But of course, I think Manu will be strong.
And let's switch our attentions to the international game. Portugal. How did you rate their performances at the World Cup?
The performance was good, wasn't not good because Portugal had a difficult phase of group, of course, but we all were expecting that Portugal, at least the first phase, can go through. But they lost the first game, they drew the second game, and everything was difficult.
So do you think there's something wrong with the national team right now, or the development of the players?
No, I think they don't have a lot of options. They don't have, this generation is too short. They don't have good players enough to build a fantastic team. We'll see the next generation how they can do it.
And of course, speaking of generations, you were part of the Portugal's so-called golden generation, but unfortunately you all were unable to win any major competitions. Is that one of the regrets of your career, especially given the fact that you all lost the Euro 2004?
I think we had maybe one of the best generations in Portugal, and we are close to win something important for the country, for the people. But it's football. We tried, we did everything that we could, but of course in my career maybe just what I won everything in the clubs. Maybe the national team is just the thing that we miss.
What's so different about the club football and international football? What are the differences?
It's different players, different coaches, different competitions, short competitions, and maybe sometimes you are better but then you can win because just for 6-7 games. But it's different, it's totally different.
Okay, and let's talk a bit about the Tiger Street Football event. What skills do you think are more crucial on the street football court as compared to that of the 11-a-side?
I think here you need to invent because the space is too small and you don't have a lot of space. You need to be quick, you need to be fast, you need to have invent something to 1 against 1, I think everything.